Hello, welcome to Orlando, everybody. Orlando has become a place that has become extremely popular for both residents and tourists. People move from all around the country. People will visit on the Yom Tovim, Sukkot, Hanukkah, Pesach, winter break. We have become so much more noticeable and in the public eye.
Coming from a major city like Flatbush, where people around us know us and are familiar with our way of life, when I got to Orlando, I realized that not everybody there understands our customs, our ways of doing things, and we stood out.
We live a certain way, we talk a certain way, we act a certain way, and how we do those things can make all the difference in the world. And that gives us a tremendous opportunity that I can create a massive Kiddush Hashem.
I personally take these lessons with me back to Flatbush or anywhere else I travel, because I realize that people are watching me, and my actions can either cause a Kiddush Hashem or Chas V'Shalom the opposite. Go for Pesach to a resort called Solterra. We rent a house there. While there, I took the responsibility on myself to work with the local homeowners association and try to work out the kinks that they had, because there was always issues between the front people and the local people at the community. I befriended a woman there in the HOA, and I said to her, we have a group of people that come to Orlando every year, and we need to have certain accommodations like an Eruv and a tent for prayers. So she said to me, I'll tell you the truth, the neighborhood is not really happy about you guys coming. I said, can you explain to me why? She goes, neighbors complain a lot about slaughtering of the lambs in the houses. I said, you're joking, right? She goes, no, I'm serious. Every year there's blood all over. I said, Karen, no. That blood that you're seeing is wine. Wine stains because they drink wine and they spill it on the carpet, but that's not blood. She goes, okay. And the second issue, which I know I understand because I'm Jewish, is that we have a obligation to inhabit the land and show that we're God's people. So we walk on other people's property because that's what we're trying to show. I said, the reason why we walk through the grass is not because we're trying to invade your property or to walk through your private property. It's just that we can't drive on Shabbos or on Yom Tov. And we can either walk around a 20-minute walk, we can cut through for a 3-minute walk. And they said, oh, we didn't know that, we didn't understand that. But they were so appreciative that they understood now what we go through, why we do so many things.
About a year ago, a letter arrived in the mail to the shul from someone who lives in the greater Orlando area, not a Jewish person. And along with a small donation came a letter written on the card. We wanted to give a donation to the synagogue, to Orlando Torah Center, to recognize out of gratitude for something that one of your constituents did. They didn't say what they did, but they wrote the address of the person that was living there, so I went over to them. I said, what did you do? You made a gigantic Kiddush Hashem. And he said that they had recently bought the house from this other person, and they had held the mail and packages for some time. They did it pleasantly, they did it with a smile. And evidently that made the impression on this person, hey, Jewish people are really nice. And that made an impression. That made the difference.
Victor is the head of security for the last 17 years.
Yeah, so I'm the director of security, so I oversee approximately 70 employees, making sure that our guests are safe in this community. We respond to any call for noise complaint and to emergencies. Our guests feel safe anytime they stay in one of our resorts.
What are the calls you don't have to have when the Jewish tourism are down here? Give us a couple of examples.
It looked like they're all family, so it looked like they know each other and they're always spending time together and things like that. So we don't have to worry about this neighbor fighting with the neighbor. They understand, we explain to them the rules when they come on our property. One of the main issues that we used to have in the past, it was the parking. So pretty much in the communities, we allow parking to be just on one side of the street. We don't permit vehicles to be parked on the grass, okay? It kills the grass and also it don't look nice. Also, vehicles blocking sidewalk is not safe for anyone, especially, when guests are walking by from the water park back to the home and things like that, so they have to use the sidewalk. Most of the time, at the end, the vehicles get towed, so we don't want that to happen to our Jewish. In the beginning, we start explaining that to them. We create conflict, and we don't want that to happen.
Proper parking etiquette is a simple thing. It's applicable in Orlando, and it's applicable in every community around the world. And if we do simple things like that, not only will we avoid making a Chilul Hashem, but we'll be well on our way to making a positive Kiddush Hashem. There's actually a lady in our community, an elderly lady who sits on a corner that many people pass by coming to Shul on Shabbos. And from what I understand, she sits outside there on Saturday morning. She makes sure to go outside because she knows she's going to get friendly waves, good mornings from the adults in the neighborhood, the kids in the neighborhood. These things make a difference to people in ways that we cannot imagine. What you just watched were some small examples of what we have the opportunity to live with in Orlando and how we are able to interact with people every single day and incorporate some of these messages of Kiddush Hashem in our lives.
People are watching you. People are actually looking at you, and they don't know who you are. They know you're Jewish because you stand out, and every single action you do is being watched. And you can either make a Kiddush Hashem or a Chil Hashem.
Mir Hashem, all of us, with the Kiddush Hashem as the backdrop of our lives, will be zocheh to a good Kiddush Yar.